So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Family constellations happens to be one of the modalities that are extremely close to my heart. For the ones who have worked with me, I'm pretty sure I've spoken to you about it. For my students, definitely I have spoken a lot about this as well. So it gives me immense pleasure today to be here with you and spend the next hour or so talking about this modality. Which I believe is absolutely experiential. So I'll come to that part. So my plan is to just give you a brief about what this modality is about. And then I will open it up for question and answers, because I think that way we will all be in a better space to take home what we need to take home today. For the ones that I haven't met, and I know that, I guess this is also live on Facebook, so a lot of you would be also watching me on Facebook. I will just quickly introduce myself. My name is Arpita, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, a family constellation facilitator, and a transpersonal regression therapist. I practice at Illuminations JLT in Dubai. And I work with people from all around the world. My forte being in working through their hidden blocks, patterns that are deeply embedded in the subconscious mind. This is what I call as my second innings of my career. I am an MBA. I studied economics, and I spent the first few years, 15 years of my life working in a corporate sector. And then I got introduced to the science of the mind. I got introduced to holistic healing. And long story short, I moved across sectors. I studied, and here I am today in front of you talking about one of the modalities that is very, very close to my heart, and I practice almost on a regular basis. I'm from India. I've been in the UAE for more than 12 years. I'm married. I have 2 children. I have twins. So that's about me. Getting more into the subject now. So what I have in mind today for you is to look at, because our topic is about relationships and relationship blocks. So I will just give you a sneak peek of my understanding of the topic through constellations. Now, relationship blocks can be worked through many modalities, but today I will focus on how are these blocks formed and how can we overcome it through this beautiful modality. For the ones who are new to this line of work, new to family constellations, I have a few like FAQs, the frequently asked question in my mind. So I'll take you through what the modality is, how does it work, and how do you know that this is something that you will benefit from. And right after that, I would open it up to question and answers. At the same time, what you could do is you could use the chat box. If you have any questions as I am on a topic, feel free to put it on the chat box and I will be happy to answer it immediately. You necessarily don't have to wait till the end of the webinar and then you're asking me. We were in a few weeks back also, we had, our participants unmuted, but we had a bit of an issue, security issue. So I guess now Illuminations is, I don't think we are able to kind of unmute ourselves, but the chat box is there. So please feel free to stop me at any time if you have any questions. You need not take it till the last part. So with that in mind, our topic today is blocks in relationships. Human beings, we all are social animals. So being human, for me, is almost synonymous to being associated or understanding of relationships. Now think about it. From the moment that we are in our mother's womb, there is already a relationship. So our life begins and our life ends, and in between all that happens, if there is one thing that is constant, that affects us, that defines us, that gives us happiness, that gives us joy, that gives us a heartbreak, is relationships. So relationships being such an integral part of our existence, and also the most sensitive part. Blocks in relationships, when we are talking of, it could be a block from in your own family. When I say family, your family of origin, where you have been born. It could be that you're in a family where, as you see in the pictures, there is emotional maybe detachment. It could be a person or one element of the family is not engaged, or it could be just the opposite of that, like an overwhelming presence of a person. It could be fights, it could be violence. And then moving on to the other family that we have, the family of the current family, like the family we are married into, or our own families. So there could be similar blocks there as well, or it could be just a block of, not finding that right person, not being able to connect to that one special person in our lives. I bring this to you from my perspective as a practicing therapist, but I'm sure each one of you will have a very different view and experience, your own subjective experience of blocks in relationships. So again, this slide is based on my own experience as a practicing therapist. This is what I mostly see, that when we talk of blocks, when we talk of relationships not working out, these are a few. It is not an exhaustive list, so feel free to think of more, add more, and as I take you through it, see if any or more or something else resonates with you as we talk of blocks in relationships. So for example, painful family situations, some things in the family, said or unsaid, that you're carrying with yourself, that is not yet resolved. If you're not getting along with any member of your family, so it sometimes happens that there is nothing wrong, but every time I'm trying to communicate with my father, I don't know what gets on to me, I feel so angry. But others in the family are able to maybe get along with that person. Now, moving from the family of origin, going out in the world, when we are looking for a partner, when we are looking for to start our own families, is it that you face that you're not able to attract the right people, or when you have them in your life, you're not even able to maintain the harmony in the relationship? On the same line, do you keep attracting the same kind of partners? This is so common in my experience. I've seen that, and people are extremely aware of it as well. Like when you meet someone, you like someone, you start to date, it's very different. But after a point of time, there's some element in the person which will become very prominent, which is very similar to previous partners, sometimes to even members of our families. And then broadening it out, it is just not about relationships inside our families or our family of origin or our current family. Now, if you look at relationships on the whole, do you see that there is a pattern in the kind of relationships that you establish? For example, look at your friends, look at your managers, your co-workers, your colleagues. Is it that you attract a set of characteristics that are displayed in the people that you're interacting with? Or just look at relationships in terms of an experience. In most of the relationships in your life, is there a pattern? Is it that you feel that I have been abandoned, or I have been abused, or I attract people who are dominating, or in a relationship, I attract people who are very weak and I tend to be dominating, or neglect, and the list goes on. And last but not the least, do you find it difficult to find love? Now, as I said, these are from top of my head as a therapist that I work with, that I deal with, but I'm pretty sure each one of you will have your own experience. You will have your own way of looking at it. So spend a couple of seconds, think about what is that pattern or that same kind of issues that you face in your relationships. You can focus on one, or you can just focus on a pattern if you like. And then coming straight to the modality that we are talking about today. So with these blocks, as I said, you could work with many different modalities, and each has its own beautiful space. But today I will more be talking about family constellations. This to me is an extremely unique modality. It's a very solution focused therapy. But why I say it's unique is because, okay, let me take a step back. In holistic sciences, we look at, ourselves, and we look at human beings as an amalgamation of three things: the mind, the body, and energy. that makes us whole. That comes from the Greek word, and that's where we say we work with someone holistically. And that's the beauty of holistic sciences. Now, family constellation takes this one step or millions of steps ahead in terms of how we define our wholeness. This is a line of work where we are looking at the impact of an incident, a memory, a trauma across generations. So this is a multi-generational view that we take. It's just not me. It is just maybe not my immediate family. Certain issues may be embedded in the system of whether it's families, whether it's cultures or countries. It's an extremely intriguing line of work, and it's also a place of profound healing. When I say profound healing, I mean healing from at the level of the soul. And because we are talking of deep soul level healing here, this is one modality where you do not need the presence of your mind, which is what makes it very unique vis-a-vis any other modalities. And so it's not that in other modalities there is conscious, subconscious we are talking about, but in this, sometimes even physical presence of a person is not required. I'll come to that when I explain more. And also, this modality is actually a very new modality. This was developed and it became quite popular in the 1970s and then onwards, vis-a-vis other lines of psychology or psychoanalysis, which has been there with us for many, many decades. So that's in short about family constellations. Now, to give you a little more information, it will help you understand how this works. So family constellations is developed by Bert Hellinger. He is a German psychotherapist, and we owe this modality bringing it to the forefront to him. Though Bert Hellinger himself never claimed that he coined the term family constellations, but definitely he's the one who has developed it, who has put it in a way that we all when I say we, it's the facilitators, we kind of we look up to him and his guidance in terms of how he has developed this. Now, Bert Hellinger, though born in Germany, he has grown up through the World War, and he was also deputed to South Africa. He was a priest there, and later he became a school teacher, he became a headmaster. In fact, he worked very closely with the Zulu tribe in South Africa, and many of the tenets of the Zulu foundations is reflected in this line of work as well. And then finally, he put together his views, his thoughts, and his observations of working with people, working with families over many, many years into this beautiful form of what we call as family constellations. Family constellations is a modality in which we are looking at not only families, we are looking at organizations. It could this actually is a very powerful tool in corporates as well. Instead of families, we look at departments and teams. It could also look at in the same way for communities, for countries. So what we are looking at here is the systems. Now, what we call as a system is the energy field that connects its members and holds them together. Very simply, think of our own bodies. We have systems in our own bodies. There's a circulatory system, there's a respiratory system, and you see how these systems, though they coexist, they are quite unique in their own ways. And they are bound by the organs, by the tissues, because they have a very similar field in which they are working. So family constellations, the word constellations means a group, a formation, is based on this, on looking at a family as a system, looking at the energy field that holds the family members together. Another important part of Bert Hellinger's work, it is based on you can call it a science, on an art called phenomenology. Phenomenology means recognizing, like looking at a system and recognizing its essential elements without any fear, without any intention, and without any perception. So this is what we call as a study of the subjective reality. If there are any questions at this point, let me know, because what we are talking is actually quite different from, the other modalities or the other mind sciences that we deal with. So if anything doesn't resonate or you find that you're lost, let me know. I have many examples and I will try to explain it through the examples as well. Okay, so I don't think there are any questions at the moment. So I will move on to, yeah, there are no questions. So I will move on to the basic principles according to Bert Hellinger and his observation and what he has come up with. There are certain principles on which the systems, the families, the organizations, they function. And when these principles are adhered to, we are in harmony. And when these principles are out of balance, that is when we see what we are calling today as relationship blocks in our webinar today. So I will take a little bit of time to explain in very brief each of the principles that hold us together in systems. The first one is the need to belong. We all belong to our respective families. That is because we are born, which means we have parents, which means we have a family of origin. Now, whether my subjective experience with my father and my mother is good or bad is a different topic. But the fact remains that we all belong. And this need to belong is over and above our subjective experience with our family members. So for example, I may find that, I cannot approach my parents or I can't have a conversation with them because they're so different. It doesn't take away the fact that I still belong to that family, to a particular lineage, to the line of ancestors. And more importantly, not only do we belong to a family, we all belong equally. Now, here's the catch. When I say we all belong equally, this means it's like a system where it doesn't matter whether somebody is alive or someone is dead. Someone is with us today or somebody lives millions of kilometers away. So that means, people who have passed away previously in the generations or our own families, they also have an equal space in the family system as do the living members of the family. So, for example, miscarriages, abortions, premature deaths, murder, suicide, you can talk of any kind of untimely death or any death for that matter. These members of they are still members of the family. It could be even an unborn child, but that unborn child still has a space. So we all belong equally, and the fact is we all belong to our families. Point number two, principle number two comes from this, it draws from this one, that when we belong to a family, look at the picture we have here, it's a family tree, which means there is an order, there is a hierarchy, and this hierarchy is chronological with time. So grandparents come before parents and our children come after us. So imagine it's like a cascade. It is like a step by step, or like the organization charts that you see in your organizations. Each one has a place, each one belongs, and there is a hierarchy in this system. So life flows through this channel. When the hierarchy is broken, we are actually questioning the flow of love, unconditional love, and we are questioning the flow of life. And that brings us to the third principle, which is the need for balance, which means when I'm part of a system, when I'm part of a family, of an organization, there needs to be give and take. So you give me a little and I give you a little more. So we build on each other. Imagine the family or the system like, like a chandelier at your home, like which is hanging from the ceiling. Now, if all the bulb holders or the candle holders are in the right place, are rightly occupied, that chandelier is in balance. The chandelier is in balance because the chandelier belongs together. There is a hierarchy in that, and there is a balance. When these principles, and when I'm talking of this is very unconscious. We are not talking only of the conscious part. When these principles are followed in a system or in a family, what we experience is harmony. What we experience is happy relationships. What we experience is all of us maturing in that family, in that system, in that relationship. However, for any reason, now coming to our topic today of blocks, if any of these principles are out of balance, that is when we say we have blocks, or in terms of family constellation lingo, we call this as entanglements. So what is an entanglement? An entanglement is my chandelier was perfect. Now one part has gone missing. Now, when one part has gone missing because of one of the principles not being followed, what happens is my chandelier gets imbalanced, it's disbalanced. And it is often observed that children of families or the newer generation in organizations, basically the new generations, and I'm using the term children for that, children of family unconsciously and purely out of love and loyalty, they try to bring the balance back. They try to compensate, they try to rebalance, they try to take over. And that is what we call entanglement. When we say they try to take over, they're trying to make the chandelier back in balance. But the fact remains that that is not possible. That cannot be done. Now, today I will talk more about entanglements on the relationship front, but I'll also briefly touch upon that entanglements can come in any form of life. Let me give you a few examples to explain entanglement. So that, and if there are questions, as I say, this is a very different kind of a topic. So please stop me anytime if you have any queries. So I worked with a client who came and said that, I think I am depressed. I have no zest for life. There is nothing that kind of, ticks me up. There's nothing that gives me joy in life. Life has become like completely blah. I don't feel any emotions. So when I did a constellation with this client, the constellation shows that the client's mother had a missing sibling. So there was a miscarriage in the family before her mother. So the mother, unaware probably of that miscarriage, or sometimes even when we are aware of, the loss of children or miscarriages or abortions, we don't talk about it so much because it's very painful for as a topic, and that leads to exclusions. So the story so goes that the mother had another sibling, which of course she's never met. It's a miscarriage, and because that sibling is the excluded, the one that is not part of the family, not acknowledged, the child who is my client today, there is an entanglement between my client and his unborn uncle. So constellation shows its resolution, and when that resolution is shown, when that child of that family, the uncle is, or the aunt, whoever it was, is acknowledged, then the client that I'm working with, he gains his resources and he is able to walk free of that entanglement. It's sometimes even things that come up or constellation shows, we may not know. One of the very common things I have seen is what we call as the vanishing twin syndrome. Many a times women are pregnant, and even before the doctor knows or anyone knows, many a times women can be pregnant, and research says that 1 in 3 pregnancies start with 2 embryos. So it's like a twin pregnancy, but one doesn't make it for whatever reason. So nobody even knows about it. So this is an example of an entanglement or an exclusion, which is not conscious. People wouldn't know, mother wouldn't know many times that I was carrying 2 children and only I have given birth to 1. I wouldn't even know. But the system knows, the consciousness that is collective in that energy field knows. So unconsciously we know, and it's often seen that the twin who made it, who's like, say, the only child of the family, may exhibit issues in relationships, physical illnesses, or any other form, because there is still an entanglement, and there's a part, there's an element of the system, there's a person who has gone unrecognized. So many a times when we do the constellations, these entanglements will always point to the missing elements and the missing people in the families. You can do the same logic and you can relate it to organizations as well. But today we are sticking to relationships and families. And once that element or that person is acknowledged, Absolutely miraculously, we see the changes in the life of the people who are struggling with, say, relationship issues, physical illnesses. These are some examples: blocks to earning, blocks to saving money, blocks to career success, and the list can go on. So this is the forum, the space is for acknowledgement, for giving that space. It will always go by those principles. Let me give you another example. I had a gentleman who came in and said that, my relationship is completely blocked. Like, I just can't find the right person to date, to find a life partner, romantic partner. I just don't. And it's not that I'm not open to it. I'm very open to it. So you can, when we place that into the field, constellation shows that this gentleman, when he was a child, he lost his father very early. So there was a gap. There were probably issues in the marriage of the parents. So father was always gone. He's never had that presence. But because of a lot of loyalty towards the system, this person has actually, what we call as parentification, has taken up the position of the father in the family to support the mother. And as a result, now the hierarchy is broken. The second principle that we spoke about, that is broken when we parentify, when we look, when we place ourselves higher than we are supposed to be in the hierarchy. So obviously his focus is to take care and comfort the mother who is by herself. And hence, though in the constellation it shows that there is this woman and there is this partner, but his focus is not there. His focus is on that space of the father that is, who's gone missing. So when we bring that back, when we bring that awareness, because the fact remains that we are born out of our parents, no matter what is our subjective experience. So I will move forward. If there are any questions, I'm happy to give you more examples, or if you have any questions, you can always stop me and ask. So in family constellations, what we are doing is we are looking at finding that it's a solution-based therapy, as I said. It's a very deep healing at the level of the soul, and it only happens when we are able to, when the constellation reveals the hidden dynamics in the families. As I said, many times we are not even, as children of the families, we are not even aware of these kind of hidden dynamics. So what happens is, when we're talking about exclusion, we're talking of, somebody who's not included in my family scenario. Now, this happens for many reasons. What happens is we live and we experience life at a level of our personal consciousness, which means, there is certain things that are right in the society and there are certain things that is wrong in the society. But beyond that personal understanding of the right and wrong, the family system doesn't work on that. The family system actually works on only those three principles. So to explain this, I had a lady who had come in and said that she sees the tendency of addiction in in one of her children, and she was very worried. And when we laid out the constellation for the child who has at a very, very young age this extreme urge for one kind of an addiction, what again spanned out is, so she belongs to a family where her brother was deeply into addiction and gambling and many such things, which, from a societal point of view, we look at it and we say that this is not done. And the brother even went missing for many, many years. It's only after the parents passed away and the brother showed up, and at that time the property was being distributed. So everybody, the relatives, said that, you don't get anything because you've not been a good child, you've had all these addictions, you've not been present for your parents. And so there is an exclusion there in terms of the property distribution, in terms of having him in the family. And this is many, many years back. And then this lady, she gets married, she has her own children. Now you see, that is an exclusion, because, and rightfully so, probably from the family perspective, they did what was technically right, what is acceptable in the society that we live in. However, from the systemic view, from the overall view, and the rules that we spoke about, that if there is an exclusion, so he's not allowed to belong to this family, he's ostracized. And the moment he's ostracized, the children of the family will pick up, and mostly we see they pick up the exact traits, they pick up the exact diseases. So if somebody has been judged, somebody has been excluded, somebody has been thrown out, knowingly or unknowingly, many a times the future generations pick up sometimes exactly the same kind of including the physical illnesses. So enough of talking about how it works. I will open up for more question and answers because it's better understood that way. But one quick thing before we go into that is understanding for people who haven't experienced how does it work. Well, that is the beauty, and that is absolutely what this is the intriguing part of how it works. You can do family constellations as a workshop, and you could do it with a group, or you could even do it in a private session on one-on-one. I will explain first how we do it in a group. So generally we would have a number of people, 5-10 people as a group, and each one of us does come up with their own issues. Now you could talk to your facilitator and explain your issue openly in front of the group, or if you like, you could just take your private space, and if you don't want it to be known, you could just also talk to your facilitator on the side and explain what you want to work on. And then of course facilitator will ask a few questions and get a little more details. Once that case taking or the details is done, as a client you will then be asked to choose people. Now these are random people who are there in your workshop who don't know you, they don't know your family background, and you would randomly pick them up. So for example, if facilitator says pick your mom and your dad, that's what you would go and actually request those participants, and as you see in the picture, you would place them in this field. Or for example, if it is a structural one, like, I cannot have good relationships, so you could pick yourself and your future partner, but whoever, you're going to pick these representatives and you will place them in the field. Now, this is the field that we call as the knowing field or the morphogenic field. For ones who have experienced, you know that when you step into this field, you are able to, the reps who have no understanding of what the issue is, what this family is about, but when they step into it, the reps are able to tap into the energy and represent those people to the level, not only what they feel emotionally, but to the precision of even sometimes how they feel physically. As a client, you are now a passive observer of this field. So the initial placement gives us the diagnostics. It shows the inner image of the subconscious, the unconscious image of the family or of the group. And then movement starts. So these people, these reps, they are reps, okay? They are not doing role play. They don't have scripts. They are representing that element from your life, from your family. And then they will move. You can see the flow of energy where it goes. Many a times we use what we call as facts or truth statements to bring out the dynamics. And once the constellation reveals the dynamics, the last picture is the resolution. Now this is what you ideally take back home. Let me tell you a little more about, because the knowing field, because it's so intriguing. So this is what we call as the morphogenic field. Now for ones who are more interested, you can read about morphic resonance. Look up Rupert Sheldrake. There's a lot of work which is done in the sense, in very simple terms, I can explain to you that this field or the group that we belong to, there is an energy field that holds all memories, that holds all information. And if we step into that field, we are able to access it. There are actually very interesting experiments that have also been done on morphic resonance. If you're interested and if we have time, I will definitely talk to you about the 100th monkey experiment, observation actually, which was done in Japan, on how when a critical number of monkeys picked up a habit, other monkeys of the same race in a very different island was able to pick it up. The same thing you could do one-on-one as well, which means instead of the reps, what we do is we use figurines, or you could use bottles, or you could use stones, So it's then you don't have the group, but you're working one-on-one with your therapist, and you can still, the results for both are the same, but the experience for a group vis-a-vis per one-on-one is very, very different. I think there was a chat, but I don't know why my chat is not opening. So I'm just going to escape and try and see. Okay, Shahita says, is it possible to demonstrate a small part of the method here? Unfortunately, not here, not today. It can be done online. Maybe if you are interested, you can book a consult. When I do a one-on-one consult, maybe I can demonstrate that to you. But here we are a big group, and we have restrictions on, talking. The microphone is muted, so not here, but I would definitely be more than happy to demonstrate it for you. Okay, so going back to, where did we stop about? So yes, and I would invite you, I would urge you all to at least once experience this, because it's only through experience you know how deep and how powerful this modality is. And now coming back to the question of, is this for you, or who would benefit from constellation? So again, coming back to all the things that we discussed since the beginning, that relationship issues, block in career, block in money, attracting the same kind of partners. And one important thing is, if you have already worked on yourself, like you have worked on yourself through other modalities, and it's not that you're new to the line of holistic and integrative healing, and still your issue persists, and then definitely try family constellation. It is definitely worth giving it a chance. What do I need as a facilitator when I'm working with a client for family constellations? It's very simple. There needs to be an urgency. There needs to be a real need that it is now time to change. I cannot continue the way it is, or my relationships, my interactions with people need to change. So that sense of urgency needs to be there, and definitely openness. Openness in the sense of, whatever the constellation throws up. Now, most of the times you will get a resolution in the constellation. It will move around in a way, and it will show you the resolution picture. But also many times there is no resolution. So it will show what it is. And it is then up to us. So in this modality, it is just not about letting go. It is also gathering the strength of certain things that probably we need to carry. So you will benefit from this if you have a need, if you have an urgency around it, and you're open to take that picture, just the resolution, the last picture of the constellation with you. In my experience, sometimes constellation works miracles like overnight, like you do a constellation now and things change like in a few hours. And sometimes it takes a bit of time. I have experienced both as a client of constellation and as a facilitator of constellations as well. So this is how I can do my best, to explain to you what the modality is. I'm happy to take questions. And for anyone who is interested, I am doing a workshop this Saturday. Because of the social distancing and the restrictions, we are only taking in 6 people per group. So if you are, if you want to experience it, if anything today has resonated with you, you're most welcome. Then I will see you on Saturday. But for now, I'm just going to close my presentation, stop sharing, and I will be available for questions. I don't know, Pia, if they can unmute, or do they need to type the question in the box? I guess it's in the chat box. So if there's any questions, please. Hi. Yes, Pia. Pia, I'm assuming that unmuting is not. I can unmute them one by one. Okay, if anybody has a question, just let me know. I will be more than happy to unmute you one by one. or you could just type in whatever way, whichever way you would want to communicate. I'm good either ways. Thank you, Munira. Thank you. Thank you, Kenda. Thanks, Anita. You mentioned the one with the group and one-on-one differs. Do you results differ and better for different objectives? No, Anita, what happens is the results are the same. The resolution will also be the same, but your experience as a client will be very different, because when you're in a group, you know, you have the liberty, or I would call it, you know, the luxury of watching it from a distance. It kind of gives you that space, and you will actually watch somebody who's representing you or any other members of your families. So your experience will be very different than when you do one-on-one. The results do not differ, the resolution will not differ, and it's not about different objectives. So it's up to you what works for you. But having said that, and having known you, you must try at least once in a workshop, because it's a very profound experience in a workshop. But result wise, no, there is just no difference. Both go absolutely in the similar way. Okay. Can Sama wants, can you give more details on the workshop? You mean how the workshops happen, Sama? Is that what you mean? Or you want details like the administrative details of the workshop? Please tell me, then I can elaborate on that. I will come back to you. So just let me know what you mean by the details of the workshop. Erica, thank you so much. I am glad you liked it. Wajiha, can issues like my child's constant itch and or delays be something we can address? Yes, absolutely. And as a mother, you can definitely put the constellation for your child. And yes, you can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wajiha, you can put it and definitely that can be worked with. It's very, very common, especially as mothers. As a mother, you can definitely put your child's thing. And itchiness is something physical, or the developmental delays that you're talking about, 100% you can. Please give workshop details. Okay, I am assuming you are talking of the workshop on Saturday. So yes, there's a workshop on Saturday, and it will start at 10 o'clock. What I will ask is, I will ask the team to send you all the details on the commercials and everything. And as I said, if you are interested, please book now, because we are operating out of limited capacity. Having said that, if there are enough people, I will again conduct it over the next few weekends, so not to worry. Now, I did not still get the answer for the workshop. Okay. I'm going to come back to each one of you. Anita says, if I wanted to book a group, one Illuminations organizes the group. Yes, exactly. So Anita, there is one group which is already there on Saturday. So you can join the group on Saturday. It's need to be a certain size, different experiences based on size. No, we are now limiting participation to 6 people, and the experience will be the same. So anywhere I have seen groups between 5 and 10 is what we do generally at Illuminations. Shweta says, can you keep the workshop on Friday so that my husband can also join? Certainly we can do that, Shweta. Maybe not this one, but the next one that we plan, because we do have a lot of interest around this line of work. We will definitely keep that in mind. Definitely will do. Anita, you can't do Saturday, but would like to do. Maybe you can do the next one. We will keep organizing it. Not a problem. We will do that. Vajiha, I have personally attended Family Constellation, and as Arpita mentioned, it is profound. Yes, Vajiha, I have seen you there, and yes, it is profound. Pardis, hi Arpita, love your work. I attended your beginners hypnotherapy. Okay, can I do the therapy if I'm mostly doing it for the remaining of my family members? Do they heal if I heal myself? Yes, yes, Pardis. So, see, we are part of the system. So when I heal, there is a domino effect that will come on the family as well. So when you heal, a part of that family that you belong to, or for whichever family you have in mind, they will also heal. Having said that, sometimes, how do I say when it is more effective? Okay, let me give you a random example where, say, a lady comes in and she's working on her IBS. She has a very bad stomach and IBS. And when we do the constellation, we find out that there has been an abortion. And when that abortion, that child, unborn child is recognized, of course, to begin with, it is client centric. So the first whoever comes in will feel the effect and you start to heal. Now, when you start to heal, when this lady started to heal, there will be a domino effect in the family, because it will be definitely her children, it will be definitely her husband and people around. Now, what we always say in this particular case that I'm saying, when there is an abortion or a miscarriage or a loss of a child, parents equally hold that. Now, if husband also is able to understand this and take that picture and acknowledge that unborn child, of course, the healing will be more profound. Now, if husband says that, no, this is not what I resonate with, healing will still be there in the family for the lady, for her children and people, but it varies person to person, and it will vary. Again, see, openness. The more people in the family, in the system are open to taking it in, the more the healing is. But you can definitely do for your family. Like as I was answering Vahija's query, that you can actually do it for your own child, or you can do it for a family member if you have conscious permission from the member to do it. So many times, due to many factors, people are not able to come or do it, but yes, you can do it, and it heals the system as well. Let me just go up and see if I missed any. Shilpi, how can I join the workshop? I will ask the Illuminations team to send you with the registration link, and you can just fill that up and complete the admin formalities, and you can join. Definitely. I will tell them to send you all the details. Thank you, Anita. Thank you for this. Shweta, in workshop, you will remove blockages or teach us how to remove blockages. Okay. I will not remove blockages. I will be the facilitator who will, I will hold that constellation. I hold that space for the constellation to unfold. So you will be able to see where the blockages are. So the blockages would be ideally, mostly some form of entanglement with the missing element in the family. So it is very clear you will be able to resonate with that, and you will take it on. And of course, when you say, will I teach you? I'm not teaching. We're going to share that learning field. If you want to call it teaching, that's also okay. But what you will learn is, to bring back those elements which we may not be conscious of, which we may not be, knowing that unknowingly I have excluded a part of my family, a member or something. So yes, this whole thing is about removing the blockages. So to answer your question, yes, in the workshop, the blockages are cleared, entanglements are shown, and you go back home with the new image, the image of the resolution. Thank you, Sama. Sama, I hope I answered your question about the workshop. If not, please let me know. I'm happy to answer that again. Vajiha, is it possible to have multiple resolutions through constellations for the same problem? For example, a family member exclusion was the reason of my anxiousness. Okay. I acknowledge this member, but the anxiousness is back again. Is it possible to do another constellation? Yes, Vajiha, it is possible to do another constellation as long as you're not doing it back to back. So I think I didn't mention this earlier, that constellations is one, again, unique, because we do not do follow-ups. We do not go back to work the next day, and we certainly do not do any other modality which involves the mind. Constellations need time for assimilation and healing. So yes, and sometimes, thank you for this very beautiful question, Vajiha, that sometimes the issues that we face may come in layers. and maybe you have worked on one layer and that has given you relief. Now if you're saying that the anxiety is back, well, it's an assumption that is related to that. It could be from a different source completely altogether. So yes, you can do this, you can do another constellation. As long as you've not done a constellation yesterday, then yes, you can do one on Saturday. You know the basics of constellations, Vajiha, that you need some time to take in that healing. But yes, you can. I have seen cases where people have worked through months for the same issue. They would, do a constellation, they would go back, they'll come back after a month, 2 months, and then work on it again. So yes, it is possible. And yeah, if you feel this, if this is what resonates, then please go ahead and do it. It will give you results. Thank you. Thank you. I joined much later. How and where can I get the rest of the info? Shilpi, what I can say, okay, I think this is being recorded, so you can go to Illuminations will send you a link. You can listen to the video later. It's also on Facebook. So if you go to Illuminations Facebook page, you will have the entire recording there as well. And even after that, if you have questions, just tell Illuminations to book a private one-on-one consult with you, and I can do a consult with you. Then if anything remains unanswered, I'll be more than happy to answer it. Thank you, Shweta. I will see you on Saturday. I'm very excited. Thank you, Vajiha. You answered my questions. Thanks a bunch. Aware of the spacing out. Yes, spacing out is very, very important. Very, very important. No rush. We have to trust. We have to, this is a place of very deep respect. Constellations are not for, dissection, for rationalizing, for intellectualizing. No, none of that. Constellations is a place of very deep respect and healing. So yeah, and that respect demands that we give it some time for it to take action. I can tell you from my personal experience, definitely, I have had constellations that have given me very fast results, and I've had constellations that has actually, I've understood it after months. So it can go either ways. Shilpi, how about the charges? Okay, maybe I will just ask Illuminations. Pia, can you share the prices and can you share the other details on the chat so that Shilpi can have it? I don't have it on my computer here at the moment to share it. I think, Shilpi, there are two bands. There is an early bird, but I will not, let me not confuse you. Let Illumination send you the charges because I may just give you the wrong information. But they will get back to you. They'll send it to you. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share my number here on the chat. And if anybody has any questions, or if you can just WhatsApp me, I can send you the flyer, so you'll have all the details there as well, Shilpi. Oh, I just send it to someone private. Shilpi, I'm sending you my number. So if you just WhatsApp me, I'll send you the details. If not, by the time Illuminations opens tomorrow, they will send you all the details. Okay. Any other questions? Any other observations? So nice to see a lot of names, a lot of my students, a lot of my people I've worked with. Good to see you here. No, sorry, any question is okay. Keep shooting, I'm here, no worries, I'm there to answer. To do the learning of the modality, how many levels? You mean to be a facilitator? If I'm not mistaken, there are 6 levels. We do it in Illuminations. Irina teaches this modality. I have also learned from Irina. It takes approximately year and a half, and 6 levels. Is it like Reiki? No, it is not like Reiki. I don't know what you mean exactly, which part of Reiki. Maybe it resonates with you. how do I explain this? No, this is more about, finding out the hidden dynamics that we have in our families. It is about finding out those unknown blockages or those unknown entanglements where we still remain connected to our ancestors, to our family members, and out of love and loyalty, we carry that for ourselves. It's different, Shweta. When you come on Saturday, then after you experience, you can tell me how it is different from Reiki. So Reiki is more one-on-one, and it's balancing, it's energy healing. This is a branch of psychotherapy, actually. So it's not, in that sense, it's not an energy modality like Reiki. It's a branch of psychotherapy, but you will experience the knowing field. You will experience stepping into the field. And yeah, one more thing that I didn't mention, that many times people, when they come for workshops, they not necessarily come for their own issues. They may say that, I've just come here to observe. So you're also welcome to come and be an observer. You're also welcome to just be reps. So you can be representatives for others. And even in being an observer and even in being a rep, you heal parts of you, because you will not be again randomly picked up for any role that you need to play. Can you do it on yourself? Yes, you can. You, in the sense, you can do your own constellation once you go through the training when you become a constellator. Yeah. It's slightly different, Anita, from the mind sciences. So it's not like, I learn hypnotherapy and I do self-hypnosis. It's slightly different. You understand the levels of consciousness here. We are talking of what I do in my personal consciousness. That's one. Now tapping into the collective consciousness of the system, of the group, of the family. And then we move into what we call as the meta position, which is, even beyond there. From there, you're able to observe without any judgments. You're able to observe whatever is as is. That is what I said earlier as phenomenology, that you look at what is essential in the system rather than with any notion, no mind, no judgment at all. Thanks, Shweta. I'll see you on Saturday. Shilpi, do you want to speak? Because I just saw that hand. So I'm trying to unmute you, but I don't know.
Hello.
Hi, Shilpi. Yes.
Hi. Yeah, I was trying to chat, but then, there was no option of chatting any longer. I think they removed it.
No,
I
it's
couldn't.
still working. It's still okay.
There is no option of chat I can see now. So I can't write anything.
No problem. Tell me, what is your question?
Nothing. Like, I was not able to take your number, by the way. So
You're not able to take my number.
Because before I could do it, it was gone.
Is it still there or gone?
Yeah, I couldn't take it. So I will just
the chat
open
is disabled for you at the moment?
Yeah.
That's very strange, because the others are chatting.
Okay.
Like they are still talking to me.
Okay. So what's your
No worries. What I'll do is I'll send it to you. Let me just talk to Illuminations and I'll have my number sent over to you.
No problem.
I'll connect with you.
Yeah. So it is how long the session?
The workshops are like full day sessions, but if we have 6 people, I would assume if we start at 10, maybe till 4:30. See, each constellation takes, it's difficult to say. Sometimes it's very fast, and you see the picture, and sometimes it takes a little longer. Approximately 40 minutes to an hour is what one constellation will take. So if there are 6 people, I would say, yeah, you can 6 hours to 8 hours, depending on, our breaks, lunch breaks and everything put together. So yeah, you can mark off Saturday. If you're coming, then it is worth, because it's just not your constellation. You are going to be witnessing others and you will be playing a part in their constellation. And it is so deeply healing. I cannot explain to you that in words. You have to experience it.
Okay, great. Yeah, great to hear that. And there's also a free workshop, you were saying? No.
No, we generally.
This is the one which you have done
webinar,
today.
Yeah, and I do a free consult. So if anybody has questions, if you don't want to maybe openly discuss in a group, you can always book a free consult and check if this is something that you would want to bring up to the workshop.
Okay,
But
yeah,
as I say,
because
you
I
can
want
work.
to know
Yes.
more about it, because I came
Okay.
quite late. So I will
No
first go through
problem,
the
no
video.
problem. I will ask the representative from Illuminations. They will contact you and they'll book you a consult. So you can talk to me one-on-one, no problem.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks.
Right. Anita, if I want to do group, we have to do it for others. Um, Yeah, as in, if you would like to, there is no hard and fast rule. If you don't want to be a representative, then of course you can say in the group that you don't want to represent anyone. However, it's an experience, and I would recommend that if you're part of the group, you participate, because you will only stand to gain and heal more. Having said that, if you're not up to representing, that is perfectly fine. Many a times, people say that no, I don't want to go up there, and that's okay as well. You do not have to do it for others, not necessarily. If we do one-on-one, is that just 1.5 hours? One-on-one, 1 hour, enough. Less than an hour sometimes. Just time-wise, yeah, it's 1 hour. Maximum 1 hour, one-on-one, not more than that. But when you feel ready, do experience a group one. It's extremely powerful, and that experience will stay with you. Great. Okay. Group means you experience your own constellation and you get to be a part of others. Thank you. Thank you, Vajia. Vajia has been in so many constellations. Yes, she has a lot of experience on it. And I'm sure Vajia will agree that when it's a group, it's completely different. Yes. Also, sometimes I've seen, like, if you have other work or prior commitments, I've seen people will come, and then you would need to let us know, but maybe you could do your constellation and go. Like, you may not be able to stay for the whole workshop, though I would love to have you for the whole workshop, but it is also a possibility. Sometimes one or two people, I've seen that. But my recommendation is you stay the whole day, you experience it, you heal, and it's a remarkable experience. Thank you, Andrea. It's my pleasure. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with Vajia. It really helps you understand, and you see so dimensions of the same problem that you're struggling with when you stay along, when you participate, when you rep for others. Yes, definitely. Okay, so I think yeah, we are a little above time, but it's fine. Thank you, Vijaya. It's absolutely a pleasure for me. I am here. If you have any questions, then please shoot. I can unmute you if you like. Uh, and otherwise, I will say bye to all of you, and I look forward to seeing at least some of you on Saturday, and maybe we can do one on Friday as well later. We will have a second group. Thank you, Pawan. Thank you, Miglena. Good to see you, Miglena, here as well. Thanks, Vajiha. Bye.